Hello, everybody. Look, we got Tyler in the house. Tyler, welcome back. Tyler is back from college this weekend to visit the family, and so we are here to do our weekly podcast with Ty in person. This is the Dynamite Sports Podcast. I'm Dad. My three boys are Tyler, Noah, and Trey, and they know a lot about sports, and they know a lot about the NFL draft. And so today's episode is our NFL draft mock draft. And so we are going to be going through all 32 of the first round picks, each of us taking turns to pick who we think the team will pick, not necessarily who we think they should pick, but who we think the team will pick in their pick on Thursday night. So guys, what do you think about this NFL draft? How does it stack up against other ones?
It's so stacked. Like, there are so many players that potentially could be starters next year. It's mind-boggling.
I mean, this is an outstanding quarterback class. It's an outstanding wide receiver class, and there's a lot of good offensive linemen as well. I think that's also just a consequence of players spending that fifth year in college. They just look so good, and I think that a lot of NFL teams are going to benefit early in this draft.
All right. So the way we're going to work it is that each of us are going to pick every four picks. I am the one who's done the least research, admittedly, so I am going to be picking first because that's usually
I'm going to give you a run for your money, mister.
All right. So I am picking first. Noah, you got your second, right? All right. And then who's third? Trey?
Yeah.
Trey's third, and then Tyler's fourth, and then I will be fifth, and so on and so on. We'll just keep going through the draft. So I get to start it off. Chicago Bears are on the clock. They are the team with the number one pick. They got it in a trade with Carolina, which very unfortunate circumstances for Carolina to have traded away that first pick. They could sure use it this year. The Bears are on the clock, and I think it is the least surprising of any NFL team that the Bears are going to be making their pick, and everyone in the world knows what that pick is, and that's going to be Mr. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the universally known first pick that everyone has on the clock for Chicago, and so Chicago gets Caleb Williams.
I've never even heard of that guy.
So with the second pick, I'm wearing my Commanders jersey today, but actually it's a Washington football team jersey, and I'm wearing this because they have that second pick. This is my first pick. You know, Jalen Daniels was the Heisman, and I have no idea who Drake May was. Like, I had no idea through the year. So for me, there's no logic other than I know who Jaden Daniels is, and I don't know who Drake May is. It's a simple, like, I don't think there's any.
A lot of the comps for Drake May are Josh Allen. I think he's going to be better than Josh Allen, frankly. So interesting pick there, Noah.
Yeah, I'm taking Drake May.
Opposing you, I will be taking Drake May at the third pick. He's like Josh Allen, but he's a little bit not interception throwing. I think that's a pretty fair comparison. So basically, Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, a pretty fair comp. And that means I am picking for the Arizona Cardinals, and that means Marvin Harrison has fallen all the way to 4. And although I do think the Cardinals will probably trade back, we are not doing trades in this mock draft, so they're going to take Marvin Harrison. Because I honestly do believe they would probably take Marvin Harrison.
Yeah. I mean, really
they need
good.
a receiver, and he's going to be a generational talent.
All right, so we're back to me. The fifth pick, San Diego Chargers, new coach, Jim Harbaugh. Got himself a nice tattoo that probably is going to be invalid in a few months when Michigan gets sanctioned.
When they dropped it like 13-0.
And so Harbaugh's belief is that he has the first pick in the draft. That's what he's gone on record as saying, I have the first pick in the draft, because he firmly believes that the 4 picks ahead of him will be quarterbacks. And he believes that either Arizona will pick a quarterback, or more likely someone will trade up that wants a quarterback, needs a quarterback. Probably one of those teams would probably be like the Las Vegas Raiders would probably be one that would jump up there. So he believes he's going to get Harrison at this pick. Harrison's not available for me, so I'm going to be looking still in the wide receiver neighborhood. They lost Keenan Allen, who's been a long time standout for them. LSU has been wide receiver university probably for the past decade now, and the top rated receiver that's left on the board at this point is Malik Neighbors. So I'm taking Malik Neighbors for the Chargers.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson,
OBJ,
Jarvis Landry. Yeah, I'd say they're probably up there.
I also don't think you want Quinnen Williams as your wide receiver 1.
Yeah, probably not a great choice.
Yeah.
So now I've got the Giants. You go and look at their needs. The first one I see is quarterback, and I have no clue why. Daniel Jones is on a contract for them for a couple more years, and they're going to keep going with him. He got hurt, so they had to go with DeVito. So I don't think they're going to take a quarterback. I think they're going to go with the next best receiver because, as we've seen for the next couple of years, they've been missing receiver, and they've been missing it very, very often. So I'm going to take the guy that most people have been comping to Mike Evans himself, Rome Odunze.
Is that how that's pronounced?
Yeah.
I was just going to go with Rome.
I think it's Rome, but Odunze.
Odunze.
And that leaves Trey.
I don't think that the Titans are going to go with a wide receiver. I'm looking at their needs. This is wide receiver, and then it's O-line. I'm taking Joe Alt if I'm the Titans. He's one of the best tackles we've ever seen come out of college, besides the incredible bulk, and he was not that good.
You talking about Tony Mandrich?
Yeah.
Wow. What a pull.
Wow.
What a pull.
He was inflated in a lot of ways.
Wow.
Pulled a real Big Mac. Mark McGuire.
All right, Ty.
All right. So after Joe Alt comes off the board, that leaves the Falcons. Their biggest need is probably corner. I don't think Cooper DeJean is going to end up playing corner at the professional level. I think he'll probably move to safety and maybe nickel. So I'm going to go with Kenyon Mitchell from Toledo.
Good pick. I think he's the best corner in the draft. As I said in my underrateds, he's definitely the best corner in the draft.
Cooper DeJean was really good, but I don't know if he has that speed to keep up at the NFL level at corner.
He'll be playing like safety or
He'll
something.
probably get moved to free safety.
You know, I have not been doing my research as deeply, and I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons. On this site, it says their needs are defensive line and corner. Those are their only needs?
No.
Can't be their
They're picking
only
eighth overall.
needs.
Those are their only needs.
That's it.
Quarterback?
Yeah.
No, not really. No. I said quarterback, but
I mean, that defense is
no.
really bad, but
All right, anyway, I digress. All right, well, it's back to me. Number 9. The Bears are on the clock again. This is another pick that people believe will probably be traded, that the Bears will probably be looking to add talent later in the draft. There's a lot of teams that want to come up at this point. There's still some good players on the board right now. Chicago's biggest need after quarterback is probably either defensive line or wide receiver. And so as I'm looking at some of the prospects that are here, I am going to probably go with a wide receiver. I'm sorry, I have to scroll down quite a bit because the receivers are not at the top of the list at this point here. And I'm going to go with Adonai Mitchell out of Texas.
another really good receiver.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's probably going to fall just because there's a gap between him and Odunze. But he's probably going to be really good at the next level.
Yeah. Great pick right there, Dad. I've got the Jets. And, you know, I think the Jets are really good coming into this next year. They've got a receiver, so I'm not taking receiver. I'm going to go over to tackle because I love this offensive tackle draft class. And I'm going to take Olu from Penn State, one of the biggest O-linemen and one of the most athletic. I think he's one of the best in this draft.
I really don't like saying this, but I don't think that that quarterback is the Vikings' number one need right now. Sam Darnold was all right. He was just on a really bad team. I think that's a pretty fair take to say.
Yeah.
So I think I'm taking Brock Bowers here.
Oh, finally.
I
Wow.
think that's really good. I don't
Yeah.
think
I don't
that
think that's even a reach.
No, not at all. He should be going
on the board.
earlier.
I'm looking at. He was the best player available.
He's the best tight end in the draft by probably a significant
long shot.
gap. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Jatavion from Texas after that. But yeah, good pick, Trey.
Thank you.
And that leaves the Denver Broncos here at 12 for me. I see Laitu Latu from UCLA. He's really good as well. He was a guy that earlier in this draft process I was hoping might fall to 26 for the Bucks, but it's very unlikely now. His combine was outstanding, so I'm going to pick him here for the Denver Broncos.
I love Latu.
Yeah, he looks really good.
He does.
All right, so it's back to me. Las Vegas Raiders desperately need a quarterback, but I do not see J.J. McCarthy going this high. I think that's quite a reach, even for the Raiders, who are known to reach for things like speed and for kickers in the first round.
That's $5.
Now my phone went off. Jeez. All right. So I am going to look at the Raiders' needs, and one of their needs is defensive back. one of the best all-around corners that is left on the board right now is Terrion Arnold, and so I'm going to take him out of Alabama.
Yep, good pick right there. Some people have him projected as the first corner in the draft. All right, now it's me. I got the Saints. I don't know why quarterback is there. Again, Derek Carr is just fine for them. And then I think the receivers they've got a great receiver core right now. So I'm going to go over to tackle again. And I'm going to take, this time, I'm never taking J.C. Latham. I'm going to take Troy Fautanu.
Not a J.C. Latham truther?
Oh, no. I've already told you this. Daquan Evans, buddy.
Okay.
All right, Trey.
All right.
I think that the Colts will take a defensive back here. And I think it's going to be Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Ooh.
Wow. All right.
I can't believe you guys hadn't taken him yet. He had a really good pro day. He had not pro day, whatever you call it.
Combine.
Combine. Yeah, he had a good combine. He looked really, really good. I think he's going to the Colts.
So I've seen him going a little lower in the first round, but definitely a talent that will not only impact defensively, but also on special teams.
Yeah.
And now 16 here for the Seattle Seahawks. Their biggest needs are interior offensive line, and I don't think we've taken one yet.
No, we have not.
I'm seeing Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. I'm seeing Christian Haynes from Connecticut. Why is it? UConn has a first-round pick potentially? It's interesting. I've never seen that before. They also have needs at edge, linebacker, and safety. It's definitely going to be an interesting draft for them. I'm going to take Cooper DeJean and believe that they are going to move him to safety.
Wow. I like that pick. Yeah, it'll be a good matchup for their other corners that they already have.
All right, Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. They have some defensive needs, and they also have needs at wide receiver. So I'm going to go over to the wide receivers, and we are going to go look at another LSU standout. That'll be 2 LSU receivers in the first round. Brian Thomas from LSU to the Jaguars.
Not surprising.
I really like that receiver pick.
I mean, that was one of the best offenses in college football last year.
Now, finally, Sean Newton can get picked. The biggest O-lineman in the draft. He's
Defensive
insane.
line.
That's what I meant. D-line. Yeah, that's $5 for me, too.
That one's just 2.
Jeez. Jershawn Newton is really good. All right.
The Berg represented. The Newton family has deep roots in St. Petersburg. He did attend Clearwater Central Catholic, which is a totally another story. But, yes, the Newton family from St. Petersburg. So, St. Pete represent on draft day.
Once again, happens every year.
Okay, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this guy's name, so bear with me. Talisi Fuaga.
From Oregon State, the tackle.
Yeah, he's going to the Rams. I think that's
some sort of Pacific Islander offensive lineman.
Yeah, that's
It's a pretty fair decision to pick them.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be very good.
Weirdly.
All right, Ty.
Not
Steelers.
weirdly. Steelers. They have needs at wide receiver, tackle, center, and corner. And I'm not really seeing any wide receivers here. Personally, I just don't think that there are any at this point on the board. I think that J.C. Latham will probably go right here. They have big needs at offensive line. They have big needs everywhere on offense, quite frankly. And I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be super competitive there this year.
Who was it again, Ty? J.C. Latham?
J.C. Latham, Alabama.
All right, coming back to me. There he is. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with you guys. You guys are moving quick through this. I am at Miami now. The Miami Dolphins on the clock.
They've got some holes to fill.
Certainly do, especially in the trenches. So we're going to be looking at trench players, and the player that I've seen mocked to them the most is Florida State standout Jared Verse.
Man, he was good.
Yeah, good pick.
Jared Verse.
That Florida State defense was so good.
Now, I hate to take this, but I got to go Dallas Turner right here. Alabama, he's really good. Good edge rusher. And it says linebacker also under his name. So he's going to be a great edge rusher and linebacker for the Eagles.
I really, really don't like saying this either. But I think the Vikings are going to go with J.J. McCarthy. I don't like saying it. He's
Interesting.
really, really overrated. He was carried by that Michigan offense. I think that's pretty well known.
He was carried by that run game and that defense.
Blake Corum.
I mean, he's definitely got talent. I just don't know that he'll succeed at the second level. I view him. I mean, I definitely know what I'm doing here by comparing him to Zach Wilson. He's a short little blonde guy. They have two very different play styles, but I think it's a similar story. Two guys that didn't really succeed on their own in college. Two guys that benefited from having decent teams around them, and two guys that I think will struggle at the next level.
That's a pretty fair statement.
All right, Tyler, your Dallas Cowboys all in?
Well, the Dallas Cowboys have quite a few needs to fill here. I have them taking Byron Murphy. He has fallen quite a bit. I think he's probably the best defensive interior lineman here. PFF has him ranked as the number 12 overall guy, and we're on pick 23. So I think that this is an absolute steal here for the Cowboys.
All right, back to me. Green Bay Packers made a surprising run in the playoffs last year. Their needs are on the offensive line and the defensive backfield. And so as I look at the best players available, there is an offensive tackle at the top of the list, Alumiua Fashanu out of Penn State.
He
No, it
already
took him.
got taken.
You missed that one.
So how much is my fine?
We'll say 2.
2? All right, well, then I'll move down, and I will take Graham Barton from Duke.
Nice pick. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come up,
All right.
and
go
it's my
Bucks.
time to
Tampa
shine.
Bay.
Love this. I can go through and talk about this all day, but there's nothing else to talk about other than I'm going to take Jackson Powers here, and there's no question about that.
Probably the best interior lineman on this draft.
And he is a guy who got a top 30 visit with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's true.
He's the most fan-picked, actually, Buccaneer, so he's a fan favorite already.
The Bucks have really wanted to establish the run the last 2 years and have struggled without Ryan Jensen in the lineup, and so they really need to strengthen that center position, and this guy would definitely do it. I would be head over heels happy if he falls to
And
us.
honestly, it's only because of his positional value he falls all the way to 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of his positional value. Like, for example, a guy like Troy Fontanu.
He
Fontanu?
already got taken.
He already got...
He was also already taken.
By me.
Wow.
Boo.
$2.
Boy, we were racking up fines this
Yeah,
week.
we are.
Jeez,
We really are.
Trey.
Jeez. Really hope I
I'm
get that fine.
so
bucket money.
sorry, guys. All
I need
right,
to donate it to charity or something.
I'll take a West Virginia graduate, Zach Frazier.
Nice. Yeah, Zach Frazier out of the West Virginia. He's the center. Pretty good player.
Look at the run on centers all of a sudden.
Probably, yeah, all of a sudden. Probably the second best center in this draft.
Yeah.
And now I am here with the Bills at 28. The Bills' needs include wide receiver. They definitely need a replacement for Stephon Diggs. They don't really have one on the roster. They also lose Gabe Davis, I believe, this offseason.
Yep.
They also have needs at tackle, defensive interior, linebacker, defensive back. Those are all cap fatalities there that they need to replace. And the best player on the board here is Amarius Mims, the tackle from Georgia. It's pretty safe to go with the Georgia offensive lineman or defensive lineman at this point. They got some dogs down there, pardon the pun. So Amarius Mims here at 28.
All right, Dad.
All right, so it comes back to me. Detroit Lions. We're really getting into the teams that are really complete teams that are, looking to add possibly depth or maybe fill in one or two holes in the NFL draft. This is a team that would definitely be looking to add help along the defensive line and in the defensive backfield. The best player available right now on the defensive side of the ball, according to my list, and I hope they haven't been picked yet and I just missed it, is Nate Wiggins from Clemson.
Correct. Yep, Nate Wiggins is a great pick there, too. One of the fastest corners in this draft class,
You
actually.
took mine.
Well, welcome to the draft, Trey.
He also took mine.
Nate Wiggins will be an interesting depth add there for them. They also added Carlton Davis in the offseason from the Bucks, traded him for like a third-round pick.
So now I've got the Ravens up here, and I'm going to go and look at the edge rushers because that's one of their biggest things. And then I see Chop Robinson just sitting there for me. One of the fastest
What a
in
name.
the draft.
You guys know why he's called Chop Robinson?
He's going to be insane. So
Is it a nickname or is that
It's
his actual name?
his
It's
childhood
his
nickname
pork chop.
was Pork Chop, yes.
That's awesome. I figured it had something to do with running.
Okay, so I think one of the greatest position groups with how good the names are just by like saying them is definitely quarterbacks because you've got like Cooper DeJean, Cooley McKinstry, Kenyon Mitchell, and how about Ennis Rakestraw Jr.
What?
Wow, what a name. The SEC really does names different, I guess, huh?
They
Yeah.
do. They do. That is definitely.
Out of the same college, same position is Chris, spelled with a K, Abrams Drain.
Wow.
Out of the same college playing running back, Frank Gore Jr.
That's not really a good name. It's just a name. You know what I'm saying?
legendary.
How about this one? TJ Tampa. Out of Iowa State.
That'll do it as well.
So your pick is Rakestraw, though. You're naming a bunch of
Yeah.
names.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm
just
so
want to be
sorry.
clear
I'm
for the
so
purposes
sorry.
of this draft.
Yeah,
Okay.
that gets very confused.
All right, Ty.
I was just saying all the really good names that were in there. So yeah, Ennis Rakestraw Jr. to the 49ers.
Well, how about another name here for the Kansas City Chiefs? Honestly, it's quite miraculous that he would fall here. I mean, not really, because he had about 400 yards receiving in college. But I honestly believe this is an absolute steal here for the Chiefs at 32. Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey.
We're out here naming kids Lad. This is not Scotland.
So now we'll wait for the PFF to grade our draft, but I think we did pretty good. I posted on Instagram commenting on the Xavier Worthy 40-yard dash, and he was the only like and response to it. So I was the inspiration for him thinking he wants to go to the Chiefs. That's my.
You were the inspiration.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I think everyone wants to go to the Chiefs.
Yep. Well, look for the Raiders to take him because the Raiders love speed always.
They really like guys that drive fast too.
And so do the Chiefs, apparently.
You drive a fast car.
Yeah. That song was apparently about Rashi Rice.
Yout.
Yikes.
There's our great top 5. We've got Caleb Williams going first, Jaden Daniels going second, Drake May third, Marvin Harrison Jr. fourth, and Malik Neighbors fifth. It's a pretty typical draft.
Which is quite shocking because this is a really good defensive draft as well. A lot of guys are going to fall to competitive teams on defense. I think that's going to make for a very interesting year in the NFL.
In our top 5, in our top 10, we had one defensive player.
Any big surprising falls in our draft, guys?
Blake Corum.
And Byron Murphy.
Blake Corum's going to fall to like the 5th.
I mean, he's a running back.
Yeah.
The trend here
And
in
the
the NFL
Shanahans
now,
have killed the running back
they
position.
really have. Ever since Alfred Morris led the league in rushing.
1,600 yards?
It's been downhill.
Yep.
I had that guy in fantasy that year. It was great.
Another surprising fall was definitely Xavier Worthy. Did he go? No, he
Xavier
didn't.
Worthy did not.
He had a really good combine time. He's probably gonna be a second round pick. There's just so many wide receivers ahead of him.
I mean, yeah. How many wide receivers did we pick? We picked 5.
A few.
Quite a few.
Here and there.
Yeah. We picked 6 actually.
And I'm
So,
glad we didn't pick the quarterback from Washington here in the first round.
Penix, yeah.
I really love Penix's game, but he's 24 years old,
And coming off injury.
coming off of injury. He's had 2 ACL tears. It's the same reason Bo Nix isn't going to go in the first round. He's another 24-year-old entering the NFL as a rookie.
And the same reason Travis will be like a 5th rounder.
Yep. Well,
Travis is young.
he also doesn't have a play style that will mesh really well with a lot of NFL teams. Mm-hmm. He's not an elite runner. He's not elite in terms of deep ball accuracy. It's just not something that's going to translate to the next level.
Well, I'm going to go on record. Daniels will be the best quarterback in this draft. We look 5 years from now, it'll be Daniels.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be surrounded by quite a few talents now in Washington. They basically just gave the Washington team the Chargers offense. So it's definitely going to be an interesting year.
Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler. They already had Terry McLaurin.
Yep. Terry McLaurin breakout year is probably incoming. He had a rough year last year after some really good seasons to start his career.
What
Scary
was the
Terry.
PFF grade, Noah, for our draft?
A PFF grade, it had us at. I didn't even show it.
Yeah, they didn't show it.
I was looking for it.
They
but
grade everything. What are you talking about? There's no grade.
Results, awards.
All right. Well,
nothing.
I will get Noah to post this on our Instagram. The draft is coming up Thursday night. We will be watching and following along on social media, and we will be tweeting and Instagramming and all of those great things. The draft is a very exciting time. It's kind of a little holiday in our household. I hope it is for you and yours, and you have a safe draft week. That is all for this week. We hope your draft party goes off with a...
Sorry, I might have
Wait
tricked you.
till the sound.
$10.